Hey guys, welcome to I'm an Actor, Not a Therapist. I'm Sammy. So, what's going on? So, I've been thinking, right? And here's what I've kind of come up with for you guys for now is this whole concept of I'm not where I'm supposed to be. How many times have we thought that? Like, really, think about it. How many times have we looked around at our lives and gone, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I am supposed to be somewhere else. I'm supposed to be so much further right now. I'm supposed to be that phrase, I'm supposed to be. It's a nice little phrase we got there. But what does it actually mean? Okay, what that means, at least to me, again, I can only talk from experience. I can only tell you what it means to me, from my experience with people that I know, with myself. So that phrase, supposed to be, to me, means that when you were a little itty bitty kid, just like I was at one point, when we were little itty bitty kids, somebody in our lives said to us, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we answered that question. We answered that however our little minds could have thought at that moment to answer it. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an actor. I want to be an author. I want to be anything. I want to be fill in the blank of the career that you thought you wanted when you were a kid and thus became your life path. At least for some of us. Some of us are pursuing what the I want to be answer was when we were kids, right? Like I'm following my I want to be. As an actor, I'm following my I want to be answer. But there are so many of us that what we're actually doing now from back then is so vastly different, right? And let's just say that we started down the path of, pursuing the I want to be in that equation. So you were asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And your answer is, say, I want to be an actor. Okay, that was my answer. I want to be an actor. So now you start pursuing it. You take the classes, you get the headshots, you watch everything, you read everything, you consume everything you possibly can to learn about that career that you've put on a pedestal that you want to do, right? And this could go for anything. I'm using actor because that's the world that I know. That's the path that I've chosen. But this could be anything. This could be anything. You pour your heart, soul, time, life into learning how to do something for that I want to be answer, right? And let's say, as it often does, life gets in the way. I want to be an actor, but I had this happen in life, and now I'm derailed and I'm not where I'm supposed to be. You see how that happens? How fast that happened? It's amazing, isn't it? But here's what I've learned. You can always go back to the path that you were on and continue the journey. Just because I want to be an actor, but I had major medical problems as a kid. For me personally, I had major medical problems as a kid. That does not derail me from pursuing what I want. It just means I have to pursue it differently. And I might not be able to follow the same path others have taken before me. I want to be a writer. So you set out to be a writer. You write every chance you get, and you create beautiful pieces, and people love them, and they tell you that they love them. And then you don't write for 3 years or longer because you get a case of writer's block that is so bad you can't overcome it. Or life happens and you fall into a depression, or you wind up with anxiety and you can't possibly write another word. And then you look around and go, I was supposed to be. Okay, you were supposed to be. Doesn't mean you can't still. Doesn't mean that it's over. You could wake up tomorrow and write. I could wake up tomorrow and go on an audition. I want to be a doctor, but I couldn't because I ran out of money. Okay, well, you might be in a different position in life now. Who says you can't go back and pursue that? I think we get so hung up on, I want to be this. And, we come up with this plan, whether it's a plan that we work out with our families, or it's a plan that we work out on our own and keep secret. And I think that both have ups and downs. I think that as we pursue what it is that we want to do, whatever that is, we go about life, and we're trying to pursue what it is that we really want, the thing that we think will make us super happy, right? The thing that will, give purpose to that adage of, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, kind of thing, right? We all march forward towards doing that. And let's assume for a minute that we don't mind putting in the years of hard work, and we don't mind losing sleep, and we don't mind the sacrifices and things like that, because all of these things, no matter how you filled in that blank, I want to be, no matter how you filled in that blank, it's going to take time, it's going to take sacrifices, it's going to take attention, it's going to take focus, it's going to take a lot of determination, no matter how you filled in that blank, right? I think that we put so much pressure on ourselves as we pursue what it is we want, that the minute we get derailed for whatever reason, we don't have, I don't want to say we don't have an out, because that's not what I mean. We don't have a way around the derailment, because what we saw was a straight path, right? You plan everything out, you lay it all out, and you go, this is what I'm going to do. Right here, this. It's going to take this many years. I'm going to do all these classes. I'm going to do all these things. And at the end of all these things, I'm going to be a this. And then life happens. And you get derailed. And the next thing you know, you're in a job that you don't like, because, let's face it, we all have to pay the bills somehow. You're in a job you don't like, day in and day out, doing something where you feel stuck. And the thoughts of, I was supposed to be, or I was going to be, start. And then we start to feel really stuck, right? Like on the last episode, we talked about being stuck. You start to feel really stuck at that point. But at the same time, there's nothing that says that your life can't change with one decision. You wake up one morning and go, I still want to be a writer. That's still something I want to be. So you get up, you drive down to Barnes & Noble, you pick out the nicest notebook you can get your hands on, and you pick up a really, really great pen. And you find a spot, whatever that spot is. It could be the mall, it could be a Starbucks, it could be your living room. And you write a paragraph, and you write a little bit each day, and slowly you start to come back into what you thought you wanted to be, and you find out this is really what you want to do. You know, there's a very big difference between I want to be and I'm doing, right? I want to be an actor, but if I'm not doing the self-tapes, and I'm not going to the auditions, and I'm not taking the classes or consuming the material, then it's just I want to be. You know, you put in the work. The bottom line is you put in the work, and life has a great way of standing in the way at the least opportune moments. And the challenge is not allowing yourself to get caught up in life's challenging moments if there's something that you want to do, right? So you don't wake up and say, I was supposed to be in this spot by this point in my life. I mean, there's a great quote that I heard Judge Judy say, of all people, I heard Judge Judy say it, and I saw it on TikTok, and I can't remember the exact quote, but she said something like, if you don't make it in your 20s, you can make it in your 30s. If you don't make it in your 30s, you can make it in your 40s. If you don't make it in your 40s, and she goes as high as she possibly can. Because here's the truth that, you know, we don't really consider or think about is that, you know, we really can turn our lives around literally until the day we die. Literally until the day we die. We can still be learning and still be pursuing and still, you know, do what we need to do. There could be people out there, I know people out there that they're in their mid-30s right now, and they've had 3 or 4 different career starting type of jobs, and they've just bounced from one to another trying to find that thing, you know, or they thought they wanted to do something and they went to school for it. You know, a bunch of friends that I know from college, they went to school for something, right? And then they got out of school and life happened and they're not doing that thing anymore. And every so often they'll say, well, I was supposed to be. And I say, yeah, okay. But, you know, you could still, just because you were supposed to do something that you're not currently doing doesn't mean that you've lost the skill, if that makes any sense. Perfect example, my college roommate, right? They went to school for film. I was in school for theater, they were in school for film. And because life, they are currently not pursuing film at all. They have not pursued film for a very, very long time. You know, not since right after college. They are no longer pursuing film. But that does not stop me turning around and saying to them, hey, I'm working on this TikTok video right now, and I really want to get this shot, but I don't know how to do it. What do I do? They still have the knowledge to give me. You know, they still have the skill set to give me that answer, to be able to help me. But they are no longer pursuing what they thought they wanted to be or what they intended to be. I'm going to start using that word instead because I hate the phrase wannabe. I hate that phrase. I hate that phrase with a deep, dying passion because we have such a negative connotation on the word wannabe. And unfortunately, I don't see that changing. So what they had intended to be is not what it is that they are currently doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that if you have a passion of any kind, if there's something that you are looking to accomplish, a goal that you're looking to achieve, who says that you can't pursue it no matter how old you are? You could be any age. You could be freaking 80 years old and still be pursuing something that you want to pursue. Long as you've got the drive, the time, the motivation, and the know-how, have at it. Literally have at it. Have a great time. I hope that it brings you joy. Because I think if we look at it like that, it'll help us to get around this I was supposed to be. Well, go and pursue. Go and have fun. YouTube is great. YouTube is free. You can go on YouTube to get started and whatever you're looking to do. There are so many different resources, so many different ways for us to go after the things that we want so that we don't have to sit here and say, I was supposed to be. Now this obviously this applies 99.999% of the time. I do acknowledge that there are people out there that this cannot work for one reason or another, that will sit there and say, I was supposed to be. But even those people, though, still could learn all that they can about what it is that they hope to do. I hope I'm making sense. This all makes sense in my head, and I know that this is a waffle, and that's okay. I hope this is making sense because this is meant to be very hopeful, and I hope I'm not bringing the room down.